Let's do this thing! We are live! Yes, indeed! Yes, indeed! Why is it so dark? It's time to brighten things up a little around here. Boom shakalaka! There's that light as we get excited about Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, followed right by the Batman movie trailer reveal or footage reveal, whatever it will be. We'll see. Matt Reeves will be obviously showcasing some Batman content. Now, with that in mind, of course, guys, I do hope that you guys enjoy this stream. We're going to be watching the reveal of Rocksteady's brand new game. Hopefully it comes out this year. We're going to get some discussion going here in just one moment. And then after that, we've got, of course, the Batman following that panel. So without further ado, let's play that intro video. Let's get rocking. Let's rock and roll. And we're live. So we got DC Fandome rocking and rolling here in the background. What's going on? Who's in the chat? We got Chase Riley in the chat. We got Barzy Valdez in the chat. We got Danny Zabata here. We got Chase Riley, Deadman Undertaker, General Punk, Manny, Badwaj, I think. Need 501 subscribers. Gemini Let's Play Spiders here. Danny Zabat, Galvatron Prime, Flip Monster, Vatan is here. Kia Gamers here. Clifford Sutton is here. Surdom is here. We have Zofo in the chat. Clifford Sutton is here. Davian Garcia is here. Matt0124 is here. FC Soccer MK is here. We have X Splits. We have James with a Z at the end. We have The Crazy Kid 09. We have Carrot King, King T'Challa. What's up, King T'Challa? I feel like I haven't seen you in the last couple of streams, so thank you for tuning in now. Cold Spidey is here as well with that epic 6-month badge. Thanks for the support, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We've got A Thunder here. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Rocksteady event will be starting in about 8 minutes from now. That is when the next DC Fandome I guess presentation begins. We're going to go on ahead and watch that. But in the meantime, I guess what I want to start with here for the stream is let me know what you guys think about the reveals so far. Do you like the DC Fandom event? Do you not like it? Personally, I love it because I've never attended a San Diego Comic-Con, but it really almost feels like a San Diego Comic-Con, kind of like a micro or like mini San Diego Comic-Con, because we're getting all these panels and typically we would never actually get to watch any of these things. So I think it's really cool that we're actually getting to witness like the entire event. So I've definitely been a huge fan of it, and I will go back later on in the day and rewatch the stuff that I missed while I was streaming Fortnite. But let me know what you guys think so far. And if so, what is your favorite of the reveal so far? By the way, for the person that keeps like tweeting me, and I think there's also a person in the chat who's constantly messaging me and telling me I'm wrong, it's Damian Wayne. Here's an email from Warner Brother Games, okay? So I think my source is a little bit more accurate, I guess, than your source would be, whatever your source is. And here's what I'll tell you. On the email specifically, it says, okay, does this have any, I don't know if this has, okay, I'll just read it. It literally says, Robin is Tim Drake. The first line on the email, Robin is Tim Drake. So you could have your theories, and look, I was the one that was on that stream saying as well, I'm like, there has to be Damian Wayne, because I was assuming that the game took place in the Arkham universe. It isn't. It's a brand new franchise. They're starting fresh. This is a whole new thing. So it's not Damian Wayne. It is indeed Tim Drake. So I'm trying to like be as clear about that as I possibly can. It's Red Robin equals Tim. Yes. I mean, it's not just that, Jonathan channel. It's I get the people. I was one of those people who was saying it has to be Damian Wayne because I was 100% sure that this is a sequel to Arkham, but it isn't. It's actually a brand new game. It's set in, it literally, just watch my video that I made like 17 minutes long. I cover all the details. Ben Fulton, welcome to the Blitz Army, my friend. Thank you so very much for renewing your membership. Like your avatar, thank you so very much for the support of Blitz Army Hype. You get the salute, my friend. Thank you so very much for helping out the channel. Thank you guys so very much. Each and every single one of you guys who's a member. Are you going to play Gotham Knights with fans when it drops? I'll definitely do some co-op missions for sure. I really was kind of hoping it would be 4-player co-op just because like they introduced the 4 players, but it looks like it's only going to be 2-player co-op. Tim is better anyways, Ammo. Okay, fair enough. So, guys, as I was saying before, what's your favorite reveal so far? Well, we still have a couple minutes. We have about 4 minutes before the event begins for the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Let me know what your favorite reveal so far has been. Was it Gotham Knights? Maybe it was the new Flash panel. Maybe it was Suicide Squad. I was actually really surprised by how cool Suicide Squad looks, because I did not like the first Suicide Squad, so I'm really, really stoked. Maybe it was the Snyder Cut trailer. Maybe one of the other CW shows. Maybe Black Adam's costume reveal. There we go. We got a few people saying Black Adam. Cool, cool, cool. We got Sam So Strange saying that his favorite thing was Black Adam. Shuby4 says the Snyder Cut. Cool. Loctus says Gotham Knights. Fair enough. Osvaldo says the fandom event has mostly been lackluster. Shocking. It's definitely missing some heavy hitters. Okay. I mean, fair point to Osvaldo, I guess. Again, to each his own. But then again, I don't think I've ever seen Osvaldo happy about any reveal of anything. So I wonder what would it take, Osvaldo? Would it just be like, and Marvel bought DC? Would that be a big enough announcement? Or would you be like, totally saw it coming? Not even a big deal. Did you see the Shazam sequel title reveal? I did not. I just missed it because I had to finish making the thumbnail and everything for this stream. So sorry. Zach Levi's face. That was your favorite thing? It's Kwanzaa time. Okay. We got a Zach Levi fan. A huge fan, I guess. King Shark is in Suicide Squad. Yes, I saw. Dude, I love the presentation for Suicide Squad was so awesome with all those logos. Like the character logos just looked fantastic. I love the design for those. Chivalrous Boy, thank you so very much for being our first super chatter saying just beat Samurai Jack. Nice, dude. Awesome. Congrats on that. Shazam Fury of the Gods? That's a great name, bro. That is an excellent title. Shazam Fury of the Gods. I like that name. The Batman trailer leaked. Please don't spoil it for me. Please, if it leaked, I don't want to know. I'm going to watch it like in just a couple of minutes, so please don't spoil it for me. Black Adam and Suicide Squad and the Snyder Cut. Melissa, you just couldn't pick one thing. You're like, I like this, and I like this, and I like that, and I like this, and I like that. Too many good things. Spooderman, thank you for the 5 Buckaroo super chat. That's our biggest super chat of the stream saying, how do you feel about Gotham Knights? I like it. I think that it's an interesting idea, something different. I'm not going to go on ahead and like give an opinion on it yet, because what I want to play the game. Like, I'm not one of those people who sees a trailer and a little bit of gameplay goes like, yeah, this thing's going to be awful. Or yeah, this thing's going to be great. I need to be able to play it, you know, because look at Last of Us, for example, as an example. All of us, when we saw the reveals for Last of Us, this will be incredible. It will be awesome, blah, 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 blah. And then what happens? So that's why I can't really, aside from, I like the design for Mr. Freeze. I like the idea of being more of an RPG game because I think that'll give it more replay value. I like those ideas. Playing as the different characters, cool. There was one thing that was interesting in that email that I got from WB. So here's one line that I'll read to you guys. You can check out my video again. I know I'm plugging it here a lot, but go check it out because I feel like it has a lot of key details. But trying to find the actual line so I don't like misquote it because I want to be accurate. Okay, so here's the last line on one of the description boxes that they give for the game. It says, players must save Gotham from a descent into chaos and reinvent themselves into their own version of the Dark Knight. Now that line kind of concerns me a little bit because I almost think like, are they literally going the route of one of these characters, Barbara, Tim, Dick Grayson, or Jason Todd, by the end of the game become Batman, right? They become the Dark Knight. That could be the case. Is it starting? Not yet. They're still playing some sort of game.
Vote for Connie?
Who would you pick to take the
Yeah.
the Batman mantle in the game, Blitz?
We're pretty sure you're the detective now.
Going back like a decade.
But
Connie.
I would go with
everyone is
Jason
sure
Todd
that
because I think he
Calvin
would
is
be
the
like
detective.
Flashpoint
Is it
Batman,
true?
which
Is
would be
it false?
insane.
We don't know.
M. Daggy, thank you so very much for the 2 Buckaroo super chat saying I'm back. What's up, man? What about you, chat? What do you guys think about that line that I just read? Are you more excited about that possibility? Like, would you be happier if basically the game will build towards you becoming Batman as whatever character you kind of build up? So if it's Batgirl, like let's say you choose to play as Batgirl, so then it's Barbara Gordon becomes the Dark Knight, not Batman, obviously. Increase the volume, please. This is still the Wonder Woman panel stuff. Ben Fulton says, I don't know, I'm still split between. Fair enough. That's a good point. Like, that's a fair point. I can understand that in terms of like where you don't think that you're quite certain if it's a good thing or a bad thing necessarily. So I think that that's a fair assessment. The event will be starting here very, very shortly, guys. Of course, don't forget to go on ahead and hit that like button. It would be very much appreciated. I think they're almost done playing this game. I forget what this is called, like Night Watch or something. So there's 3 more people that haven't been eliminated yet. So once these 3 are eliminated, or 4, I think she's the host. And then they'll start the next panel. Jason would be a really good Batman with his anger issues as well. I mean, it would just be an interesting idea, I think, right? Like, it would just be compelling in that sense. Dude, Jacob, thank you so much for the very generous 10 Buckaroo super chat saying, hey, Blitz, I just wanted to say thanks for the content, man. I've been watching you since I was about 13. I'm 19 now, and I will still go back and watch your Lucky Block videos. Dude, thank you so much, Jacob. Thank you so very much for the kind words. Thank you for the very generous super chat, and thank you for sticking with the channel for 6 years. That is insane, man. Half a decade, basically. Thank you so much. Where do you watch this, Blitz? On DCFandome.com. No Batman spoilers. Yeah, please, guys. If the trailer really did leak, please don't spoil it in the chat. Like, don't be a jerk. You can go watch it. It's fine. I want to watch it the way that they're gonna present it as part of the panel. So don't spoil it for me, please. Who's hating on my boy Robert Pattinson? I mean, let's be honest. Robert Pattinson has definitely gone through like a reinvigoration of his career, because for a hot minute there, he was known as Sparkly Vampire Man. So, come on. You got to give people some benefit of the doubt. Osvaldo, how dare you? Osvaldo says, spoiler, the trailer exists. Okay, here we go, guys.
Enjoy the rest of DC Fandome.
Let's get some hype!
Now, our next global host is fluent in everything from games to geeks. She's tech girl Sam Wright from South Africa. Take it away, Sam.
Thanks, Gino. Hello, world. Sam Russia, and I am so excited about the amazing content we have
From Russia?
in the DC fandom. There is
Why
so
didn't you
much
guys
to
use
see
me?
and do.
I can
Now,
speak
gaming is
Russian
my
too,
passion,
bro.
and I am hyped because we have
Come on, man.
another announcement from Warner Brothers Games. I think we should share the killer news with you. And who's going to do it? The one and only Will Arnett.
Did she say Will I Am? Wait, is this Injustice?
Ow! Son of a bitch, that hurt. Golly. DC,
PG-13.
you're the cheapest teleporters. That hurt. All right, Fandomers. I think I know why I'm here. Check this out.
Thank you for the super chat. I'll read that in a second. Can you guys hear the audio? How's the audio? Good? Are we okay? Is this Injustice 3? No, never mind. This is Suicide Squad. Okay, sorry. I don't know why. It looked like a fighting game for a second. I swear. And that Brainiac ship looks like the one from Injustice. Rocksteady. Here we go! Metropolis.
Give me a sit rep. I've got eyes on the target. Air support is getting cut to pieces. Where the hell are you? I'm going in.
Look at this gameplay, guys. Next gen.
We lost the target. Repeat.
Dude, this looks so good. Like just the quality of the character model.
Don't worry, boss. We got this. Hey, Boomer! Lay down suppressor!
Okay, Boomer.
Keep it down, Hal.
He legit looks like
He's
CM
still
Punk.
ringing after that last Barney.
What is that? Australian for hangover?
I believe I can translate. Boomerang has a concussion from the enemy you missed in our last encounter.
Guess those teeth are sharper than your eyes, Shark Man. I never
You never miss.
Never miss. Yeah, we bloody know. You never shut up about it.
Task Force X. Alpha target is in the open. Get your asses to the Metropolis Grand Hotel and engage. Before I have another reason to blow those bombs in your heads.
Shit.
Okay. He's got a jetpack. Dude, this is not what I expected. It is so much more colorful and vibrant than like I'm used to from Rocksteady. Nice. King Shark.
Smooth.
Well, that should knock a few years off the old sentence.
That's reminded me of something. Oh yeah! Waller's stupid alpha target. Who we supposed to be killing again?
That was a close call. It's Superman!
Whoa. Look, it's Superman. The mighty Superman has just rescued that pilot.
What a show off. Beat it, Spandex! We're on a top secret assassination mission here!
No.
Dude, that guy got fried.
So, figure out who we're killing yet? Oh, fuck!
Okay.
I shouldn't have done that shot.
What? What?
Wow. Okay. Very dangerous. Yeah, that's more dangerous than they said it would
2022?
be. It's come on, get me out of here. Please.
I mean, what? Are you?
Hello?
We're gonna get hit by an asteroid before the game comes out.
Okay. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Who am I? Who am I? I'm Harley freaking Quinn, fart face. Who are you?
Oh.
Why even show it today?
Hey, Jax, come here.
2 years away?
Is it? A new lawyer? You gotta help us, mate.
No. I'm sorry. No, I'm not a lawyer. Although I probably.
It did
played
say
one part, but
2022.
no,
Am I right,
I'm
chat?
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett? I'm your biggest fan. BoJack was the only thing that kept me going in Bel Rev. Every night. Starved. Tortured. Experiment.
Wait. An actor? Great. Hang up, Quinn.
No, wait.
The
wait,
game
hang
looks
on.
awesome, but
Don't
why
hang up.
so far
look,
away?
Maybe I can help. What seems to be the problem?
It's Waller. She wants us to kill the bloody Justice League. We're way out of our depth here. We need to get out of this insane mission.
Speak for yourself. I can see the headlines.
Harley's
now.
just
Harley
legit
Quinn
laughing at me and
finally
flipping me off.
kills
Brilliant.
that.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That is the can-do attitude that I'd expect from a group called the Suicide Squad.
That moniker does not bode well for our chance of success.
All right. Well, I tell you what.
It
just
looks
give me the
like
rundown.
such a fun game too.
Who are you guys? What
Doesn't
kind of
it remind
powers
you a little
got?
bit
I
of,
mean, what are we working with here?
Just a sec, I'll try to remember the name of the game.
William, the name's Harley Quinn, and you could say I'm the leader little task force. I like baseball bats, explosives, dead superheroes, things that go kablooey, and the Great British Bake Off.
I'm Deadshot, team leader, world's deadliest assassin and most dangerous marksman alive.
And I'm...
You may call me King Shark. I am a demigod, the rightful ruler of the seas, and therefore the true team leader.
And last but not least, the one, the only, Captain Boomerang. I'm what you call...
I can't remember the name of the game.
But don't try calling me the leader of this sorry lot. No, thank you.
It was an Xbox One
Leaders are the
exclusive.
first to get their heads blown off.
Okay, so what? And forgive me, you throw boomerangs?
Exactly. Don't know why it took everyone else so long to get it.
Aw, sweetie, we just didn't care.
Okay,
Sunset
well,
Overdrive,
does
exactly.
anyone
Doesn't it
have,
remind you of Sunset
laser
Overdrive with the
vision
zombies?
or
Like, they kind of look like them,
kryptonite-powered
no?
suit, or-
You might have a
Sunset
sense of
Overdrive,
humor,
that's what I'm talking about.
There's gotta be a way.
It looks like
the
it.
world is depending
Doesn't
on
it?
you guys, right? When I look at you,
Which is a good thing, because I
don't
love
see,
Sunset Overdrive. It was a great game.
drunk, or a killer, or an evil clown lady, or a giant monster.
Hey, who you calling a giant monster?
No. You see, what I see heroes.
You must not have heard of us. We ain't your heroes.
Okay, fine. Criminals ready to pay back society and earn themselves a full pardon.
Full pardon.
That ain't bad.
Or do we get to kill them all? Even Flash?
Yes, the mission is literally called Suicide Squad.
No. I didn't say
Kill
that
the
this game is
Justice League.
exclusive to
That
Xbox. I
is
said that it reminds
kind
me
of
of a
the
game
whole
that
point.
was exclusive on Xbox called Sunset Overdrive.
I don't know, is that a thing? I mean, I can't see why not.
All right, screw it. If we're gonna die on a mission, might as well do it paying back those self-righteous pricks.
Then it is decided. Let us do it for acclaimed actor Will Arnett.
Oh.
Will!
By the way,
Thank
he
you.
is Lego
I
Batman also.
do what I can with my looks and my steely soft voice, and of course my looks. I don't know if I mentioned that.
I honestly, like, I'm excited, but I'd be absolutely lying if I said
Nothing? Okay.
I
Well, thank you,
I
guys.
understand the idea of this game launching in
Appreciate it.
2022.
Have fun with your
Like, if it's
mission.
2022, why show it this year? You should have just showed it next year.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Like, am I wrong about that? I don't know, chat. Like, I know
have a
people,
feeling
some
that
people will
things are
disagree,
about to
but
get really messy. Would you please get me the hell out of here?
I think that's a lot of people saying.
We're not doing this, right?
Not a chance.
What if he's just like, I'm kidding, it's actually out
the subway,
tomorrow. No, I'm joking.
Oh. Hey, you must be Sefton.
I am indeed. Hi, Will.
Hey, man, Sefton Hill from Rocksteady Studios, y'all. Sefton, how'd you get here? Did DC also teleport you into the cyberspace realm?
No, they just sent me this green screen for my house.
Is it? You got a green screen? Good. That's neat. Lucky for you. DC actually teleported me into the Fandome, which really hurts. But good. Green screen. You're lucky. Cool. Good for you. Okay. Well, I guess look, the cat is finally out of the bag here. This is Rocksteady's new game, and there is a lot of anticipation behind it, right? And the Arkham games are extremely popular, and buzz has been building behind this new game. So, what can you tell us?
Well, I'm really excited and proud to be able to reveal Rocksteady's Suicide Squad. You know, it's a unique new franchise for gaming, and we've been able to put our own spin on it.
I wonder if
create
this will be
something really
PlayStation
special that I
5 and
think gamers are gonna
Xbox
love and
Series X
enjoy.
only.
Obviously, it's
because
brought
it's
to you by the
2022.
team that created Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. And in fact, this is a continuation of the Arkham verse. So a lot of the through threads and the storylines.
Okay, so I guess this continues the Arkham
in
saga.
this game. So we've been able to combine all of that core DNA with some really great, unique innovations.
But the art style is
and
so
create
different.
What we think is going to be a totally original gameplay experience.
Okay, well, that's awesome. But let me just ask you this. Why this game? Why Suicide Squad?
Well, when we're starting any game, Rocksteady games are all about a character-driven game. You know, it's all about that kind of heart and soul of the characters that we want to bring to life. So we worked with DC, we looked at, all the different properties, all the different great characters that they have. And Suicide Squad really spoke to us because of how fascinating these flawed characters are and the fact that it's fusing all of these characters together. When you're creating a game, you're creating a universe and you want to build it with real heart and soul inside it. And that's what really inspired us to make the Suicide Squad game because DC have this fantastic roster of villains, and being able to actually play these villains and see the interaction and life between them is something that got us really energized and excited.
I guess for me, my biggest question, and really probably everybody's biggest question that they want to know is, and no offense, but what is wrong with you, man? Why are you making a game about a group of bad guys taking on some of the most...
I thought he was going to like, what is wrong with you? Why is it coming out in 2022?
We always put our characters in interesting and exciting and dynamic situations, and it felt like the Suicide Squad naturally really lends itself to that. Even just...
I mean, I guess if I think about it, it kind of makes sense. Like, if we're getting the new Gotham Knights in 2021, they're not going to do 2 DC games in 1 year. So I guess that's why, but...
This mission to take on and kill the Justice League, and I think that's where you always find, I think, the magic is when you can put characters in these situations that are absolutely impossible. And then to a certain extent, these things kind of write themselves, because once you've got that premise, you just let that live and breathe. And you think, right, well, how the hell can the
Also,
Suicide
notice
Squad
how the
kill
Brainiac ship has the same glow, that pink that the Superman has.
Of the game. And then it's down to us to take the player on this journey and tell this story of how that could even be possible.
Hearing that, let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the stuff that the hardcore gamers like me want to know. Exactly what kind of game is this? What am I doing in this game?
So the game is a hybrid of Rocksteady's experience in bringing characters like Batman to life, that superhero empowerment, combined with really powerful, awesome gunplay. So the superhero empowerment, I guess supervillain empowerment here, is looking at each one of the individual squad members and looking at what's unique about them and transferring this into this really powerful gameplay and using, again, those skills and techniques that we've learned over the years, but actually adding more richness and depth to each of them. So each one of them has a richer move set, more things you can do, and more skill required to master.
I think those are all Brainiac bots or something.
So to do that across the spectrum of Suicide Squad members has been something that's been really enjoyable, and I'm really proud of what the team have achieved there. And then you can combine that with the gunplay, the awesome weapons you're developing over the course of the game, combined with the melee weapons that you have, like Deadshot's wrist cannons, Harley's baseball bat, sharp-wielding twin cleavers, and special enhanced traversal moves you can use, like Deadshot doing a fuel dump and setting enemies on fire. So it's really about creating a whole spectrum of possibilities for the player to use and just letting them loose and enjoying them as much as they can.
Wow, that sounds awesome. Let's take a couple questions now. We've got a question from Altair from the UK, and he wants to know, what has been the most exciting part about working on this new game?
Well, I think one thing we were really excited about was to bring Metropolis to life. So Metropolis itself...
Saber, I'll read the super chat in a second. Thank you.
It's something we've treated the same with Gotham in Arkham City, Arkham Knight, was giving this city life beyond just kind of bricks and mortar and making it something that really speaks to the player and being able to realize it to a level of detail that's never been done before in any medium. So we created this open world over which the game takes place, and I think it's really a love letter from us to DC fans. I think they're going to love it and really enjoy it, and it's something that I'm really proud of. The team have done a phenomenal job with that.
We have another question here.
So it is
also
open
from
world.
The UK, which is, you're from the UK, and both questions are from the UK, so somebody do the math. But Ellis from the UK wants to know, with the Suicide Squad game that's coming up, will we be playing as every character from the squad or just one? And if it is just one, which character is it going to be? Because he wants some help killing Superman.
Well, the game itself, the structure of the game is it's a 1 to 4 player co-op game. So if you want to play single player, you can totally play single player. I mean, our mantra has been that you play this game how you want to play it. So if you play single player, you'll still have a full squad with you. You'll have 2 players, 2, 3, 4 will be filled by bots who will fight along with you and really join in the fun and obviously give you that squad experience. But if you want to play multiplayer with your friends, that's still absolutely great. They can join in and take the role of the other squad members. And the great thing is that that's a dynamic experience. So you can play some of the story single player, some multiplayer.
I'll read that in a second.
The whole game is accessible, single player, multiplayer. in and out of those two modes however you want to do it. So it's really something that we just want to give up to the fans and let them choose. And of course, if you're playing single player, the other cool thing is you can even switch between the characters. You're never locked to any particular character for any particular section of the game. So you want to play as Deadshot, jetpacking around, sniping enemies, you can do that. And then boom, just instantly switch to playing as Harley, swinging around and flying into enemies with a baseball bat around the head. So there's so much freedom in the way you play the game, because we really wanted to get across that feeling of being a whole squad and not just one person going on this mission.
Lastly, I'd like to know if it's okay with you, if can I be in the new game?
Lego
I'm not
Batman.
saying Task Force X. I'm just saying maybe just like a random handsome guy who's, you know, hanging out in Metropolis, just being handsome and dodging.
Are you
chunks of
crazy?
debris.
The guy who said everyone hates Rocksteady? What are you talking about? They are beloved as a game developer.
That's awesome. That's the contract. Thank you for joining us, Sefton. It's the game looks absolutely spectacular, and it will be made even better by the appearance of me as an NPC.
Sure thing, Will. Good luck teleporting home.
I've made a huge mistake.
Are you kidding me? That game looks insane.
Okay.
Come on, turning the table.
So.
I am right there with you, Sam. It looks so awesome. In fact, you know what? I officially challenge you to a game.
I mean, we've been hanging out with the fans all day, but we also have our fan questions.
I have so many questions, Sam, but I'm actually going to hold them for Matt Reeves, who's going to be joining us here very soon.
Okay, great. I tell you what, why don't we go and chat to James Gunn and see what he has to say when I asked him my question, which was...
Okay, so they're gonna do some other discussions. We're gonna look at the Batman in just a moment. The first thing I want to do is mention thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a like if you're enjoying the stream. We're gonna run through everything that we saw there in just 1 second. The first thing I got to do is read the super chat. So we got 5 buckaroos from Spooderman, who says, all I know is that I'm excited for the Flash movie. Cool. I didn't see that panel, so I can't comment on it. Saber come through with the 199 super chat saying the story reminds me a lot of Injustice 2. Kind of, I guess, with Superman turning evil. I guess I could see that similarity, but other than that, well, and Brainiac, I guess, so kind of. That's why I thought it was Injustice at first, because it looked like when he teleported, it looked like it was going to be like it looked like a side shot of like a fighting game. And then Shuby4 coming through with the 499 super chat saying, Blitz, do you think that Robin will take over as Batman and Suicide Squad and be in the game? I do not. I think that that's the roster. I think those 4 characters. Okay, so first of all, I love the tone. I think they got the tone right. It looks like it's going to be kind of almost Guardians of the Galaxy. It looks like it's got this goofy personality. They're really leaning into more of what looks like James Gunn's Suicide Squad is going to be. They're leaning into that type of tone. So that's great. It's going to be a 1-4 player co-op game. Drop in, drop out multiplayer. Are they already starting?
As many of you probably already know, we were in the beginning stages of production when COVID
Gotta
hit,
watch the Batman.
I'm very anxious to get back to work and continue to form this beloved character. I've always been.
Dude, I love this music.
Fan.
Boom, boom, boom,
I'm not
boom,
really allowed
boom, boom.
to share anything, so I'm going to hand it over to the great Matt Reeves. Who's somewhere around.
Sam's so strange. Nobody said that they're only fighting Superman. You could like tone it down a notch, dude. Chill, man.
Talked about.
The name of the game is they're killing the Justice League. It doesn't say kill Superman. So do you think we're idiots and we didn't read that part?
So I hope you enjoy.
Okay, let's watch this first, and then we're gonna talk about.
Matt, I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So, as Robert said, it's super early to tell us much about the movie, but I think what's exciting about where we are with DC and with this franchise specifically is that there's been a multiverse of Batman, right? And now you're taking over this particular iteration of Batman. What made you want to tell a Batman story? I mean, this is a heavy lift. What was it that drew you to this character in this world?
Look, I love Batman, and I've loved Batman since I was a kid. And I never even imagined, when I began making movies that I would do genre movies, because I just loved certain kinds of movies that were very character based. And it's really interesting that as I got deeper into genre, I realized that that was a way to do very emotional stories, but under the guise of these sort of great mythic tales. And in particular, what excited me, and the thing I related to in the Batman story, was that he isn't a superhero in the traditional sense. You know, he might have a cape, but he can't fly. He's like you and me, but if he has a superpower, it's the ability to endure. And not only the ability, but the kind of compulsion. And so that idea of being that driven by your past and by the things that you can't quite resolve in yourself, like, he's a very alive character. And to me, to tell a version of Batman where, again, it wasn't about how he became Batman, but it's about the early days of how he is Batman, and he is so far from being perfect, and watch us sort of see him becoming what we all know about him and see it in new ways. I felt like that was a way to do something that hadn't been done, and that was really what I was excited to be able to do in this iteration.
You have said that all of us imagine ourselves, or have imagined ourselves to be Batman. And I know that's why I love those stories from the time I was a kid, because he didn't come from another planet, right? He doesn't have magical powers. He's just a guy that wants to do good.
And that's the thing.
Wow, also
the
a
other
billionaire.
question is, what is good? One of the things that I think is interesting is learning how to be Batman. You know, the whole idea, this is all an experiment in the movie. The idea is that we're in year 2. It's the Gotham experiment. It's a criminological
Notice how he
experiment.
dropped
He's
that.
trying to figure out
Batman year 2.
what he can do that can finally change this place. And in our story, as he's in that mode, that's where you meet him, and you see that he is charting what he's doing, and he's seeing that he's not having any of the effect that he wants to have yet. And that is when the murders start to happen, and then the murders begin to describe sort of the history of Gotham in a way that only reinforces what he knows about Gotham, but it opens up a whole new world of corruption that went much farther. But as that story starts to come out, without being an origin tale for him, it ends up being something that touches on his origins. So you start to see that as it starts to describe this epic history of corruption in Gotham, that you start to understand, well, where did my family sit in that? And in that sense, I think all of that is a way to take a story that is a detective story, a very point of view story, a mystery. It's got, of course, you know, action, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of it, it also is incredibly personal for him, even though it is the story in which he's trying to understand and unravel this mystery.
It's so layered. I'm really excited about
That
it.
sounds
Speaking of
really
what we
good.
know about Gotham, you've revealed some of the characters in this story, and the casting is just extraordinary.
They're amazing. I mean, you know, we have, you know, Paul Dano plays a version of the Riddler that
I kept calling him Dano.
before, and it's really exciting. He's such an
Dano.
incredibly creative actor, and so what he is doing, I think, is going to blow people's minds. And then to have, you know, Zoe Kravitz, her iteration of Selina Kyle, like, to me, that's incredibly exciting. You have an iteration that you've never seen of what she's doing, but it touches on all these kind of iconic sort of things that people know from the comics. So it's always about trying to square what you sort of know.
Interesting that he
what
said
also is
Selina
new,
Kyle. I wonder if that means
is
she won't
really
be
part of,
Catwoman.
I think, the exciting
So she'll
sort
just
of
be
process
Selina
of making
Kyle.
a Batman movie, which is to find a way to make it your own and to find a way for the actors to make it their own, and yet still connect to all these things that people also go, oh, that's my Selina. I know who that is. And I guess the one thing about the Rogues Gallery is that it actually, in a weird way, is the origins of a lot of our Rogues Gallery characters. So, like, Selina isn't Catwoman yet. That's actually part of the journey.
I just said
Oz
it.
is not yet the Kingpin that he's going to become. He's the Penguin. In fact, doesn't like being called the Penguin. And the Riddler is just emerging for the first time. So that's all incredibly exciting. And then we have, like, you know, to have Andy Serkis, who is, you know, I work with on the Apes movies, is one of the most beautiful actors, and he is playing an iteration of Alfred that I feel like people have never seen before, which is really exciting to share with people. And then we have an incredible, for me, like, I just think that Jeffrey Wright is just one of the great actors, and to be able to work with him in a totally new iteration of Gordon. And then we have, you know, the amazing John Turturro, who's going to be a Carmine Falcone, who, again, I think in this iteration, you've never
this
seen
is going to be
that
such a
version before.
like
And how all
gritty
these
story, I
characters
think.
Connect, I think, for me, was one of the challenges, but also exciting things about the creation of the story, which is that in going on this sort of desire to solve, or the urge and the compulsion to solve this series of crimes, you touch on all of these iterations of the beginnings of these characters, so that the whole movie is like, it's like a snowball rolling. You can just feel the momentum building and building, and that's the attempt.
It's exciting to be able to talk to you in the middle of making this, you know, this incredibly rich undertaking. And you're an incredibly busy man, not just this film. It's just announced
Come
that you're
on.
going to be working on the Gotham PD series. You're
They're gonna
developing
give
with
us some
Ryan
sort of
Winter.
little
How are these two
footage,
projects
no?
going to dovetail? How are the series and the films worlds going to overlap or connect?
Yeah, totally. I mean, for me, the idea of this story was a story in which Gotham, which has this sort of depth of corruption, and then the idea that we could actually do a series that is going deeper into an aspect of it, which in this case is the corrupt police department, the corrupt inner workings of the city, and the way we're going to do the series, which is, I mean, Terrence Winter is just like an incredible writer. So the idea that we got him to do this, I mean, just is literally a dream. And the idea is we go back to year one, and year one
So it's going to be a
the
flashback
beginning
to this.
of the emergence. It's the first appearance of this masked vigilante that starts to unsettle the city, and you start to see the story through the point of view of these corrupt cops, and one in particular, and the story is actually a battle for his soul. And he's a cop over generations, and the history of corruption in Gotham is enormous and goes back many years. And the story is like, as you realize that there's this myth building in the background, you're actually in a new place where you've never seen these characters before, some of which we'll touch on that you may have seen from the comics, but others totally new. Then you can go down an avenue and go into detail that you couldn't do in a movie, and to go into these sort of rich places and meet entirely new characters that Terrence is going to create. I'm incredibly excited about it.
That's awesome. I mean, like I said, it just dimensionalizes that multiverse that much more and adds that much more depth to it. Now, as you know, Matt, here in the DC Fandome, it's not just a celebration of all the superheroes and the villains that we love, but most importantly, it's a celebration of the fans. So we have some questions for you straight from the fanverse, okay?
Okay, cool.
Here we go. All right, this question comes from Arvin in the UAE, and he asks, when it comes to costume design and the collaboration processes behind it, to what extent were stars able to implement
They're gonna
their
show
own
footage,
influence
right?
within the design?
That's a good question. You know, actually quite a bit. I mean, we have, of course, an incredible costume designer, Jacqueline Duran, and the bat suit was designed by Glyn Dillon, and they're geniuses. I mean, it's great to work with them, but one of the things that's really important is being able to work with the actors. Like Rob had a very important part in designing the suit in that he had to be able to wear it, he had to be able to fight in it. And one of the things about this bat suit is that it's very practical. The whole idea is that he's made it himself. And so we needed to be able to sort of see how it would fit on him in these ways that he could move, but also looked like it was something that was still evolving. And even the idea of the story, he's in year 2, so he's been wearing it. So like, he goes every night looking for trouble. So you look at his cowl and you can actually see there are gashes in it. And all of that detail was an incredibly exciting sort of dialogue between me and the costume designers, and then having Rob involved. And so, yeah, I mean, the actors have a lot to do, because you always do a dialogue with everyone so that we can arrive at the thing that feels the most grounded, the most honest, and the most character-based.
I'm just hoping everybody got pockets.
You know what? I will tell you this. One of the big things that Rob actually talked to Christian Bale, and Christian Bale was like, just make sure you're going to be able to relieve yourself. So all of that sort of was actually part of what was important to build into it, which is like, okay, he needs to be able to put it on. He also needs to be able to live as a human being.
Okay, here's a video question from Pedro in Brazil.
Hi, I'm Pedro from Brazil, and I believe that one of the most important things about the whole Batman mythology is not just the characters such as Batman or the Joker, it's Gotham City itself. So I wanted to ask you, what should we fans expect to see from Gotham City in this film? Thank you.
You're absolutely right. Like, it's just as important as any of the Rogues Gallery. It's sort of like the nature of what this place is and the history of it is critically important to our story. And one of the things that I really wanted to do, because it is the center of this story, especially the history of corruption in the city, was I wanted to present it in a way that was really fleshed out. I wanted it to feel like an American city you'd never been to. I mean, other iterations have, you know, obviously the Burton one had very, very theatrical, beautiful, beautiful sets. And Nolan had the version that he created in Batman Begins, and that was a particular thing. And then parts of Chicago and parts of Pittsburgh. And what we're trying to do is create a version of it that you haven't seen before. So some of the locations that we've chosen, the idea is to take let's say there's like we have like a Gotham Square. So that's like Times Square, right? Now, if we shot it in Times Square, then you'd be like, oh, I guess Gotham is New York. But in our case, it's actually going to be Liverpool. And the idea is to go to Liverpool, where there's all the sort of the foundation of the Gothic architecture, and then add all of the more modern structures through CG, but in a way that you're going to, when you see the movie, now that I've blown it, of course I've told you what it is, but you'll be like, hey, where's that city? Where did they shoot? And so the aspect of Gotham and realizing it has been, for me, one of the great pleasures in getting to mount the movie.
That's amazing. Evla from Germany says, it's already known that the movie is going to explore Bruce's second year as Batman. How do the citizens of Gotham perceive the Vigilante?
Oh, that's a good question. Because it's still early and because he is a vigilante, which means he takes the law into his own hands. I mean, if you were in a city and there was a guy who dressed up as a bat and showed up out of the shadows and sometimes confronted those people and beat them up because he felt what they were doing was wrong so that he could sort of put the fear of God in them about the crimes that they're committing, I think we would wonder, well, gee, that guy sounds a little dangerous. He's not yet the vision of the character that he becomes, where he becomes a symbol of hope for the city. He's earlier in the trajectory, and so they're afraid of him, frankly. He's kind of a growing legend. I think there are some people who are wondering, does he exist? How exactly does he exist? And that legend is building day by day and has been since he made his first appearance about 1.5 years ago as we were in year 2. So yeah, the public is afraid of him. I mean, that's one of the things I think that he will confront in the course of the story, and that Rob has to sort of deal with in playing the character, which is the idea of how he's perceived.
And speaking of Rob, Aditya in Indonesia has a video question.
What was the best part of Robert Pattinson that he was chosen as the new Batman?
I mean, the thing about Robert Pattinson is he's an incredible actor. I feel like the work that he's done in the last, I don't know, 6 years has been incredible. Like a friend of mine made a movie called Lost City of Z, and Rob appeared in that movie, and I was like, who is that guy? He had just such charisma, and Rob in the movie has this incredible beard, and you're like, who is that? And it's Rob, and Rob in The Rover, and Rob in Good Time. He is like a chameleon, and he's just such a gifted actor, and he's been working on his craft in this really incredible way, and he also happens to be a tremendous, passionate sort of fan of Batman the way that I am, and so it was an incredible thing to be able to connect with him and to share our excitement about the character and to work with him. I mean, you know, he looks like Batman, but more than anything, he has the soul of someone, I think, that can play a Batman like you've never seen before.
Andy from Australia asks, how long did it take to build the Batsuit, Batmobile, and Batbike? And did you have to build a set to create the Batcave?
You know, it's funny. It's like stepping into your childhood in a certain way, because, you know, obviously the first thing you have to do is you have to craft a story that you think is worthy of the character. But then once you've done that and it becomes like, oh yeah, we're making this movie, one of the things you have to do is you have to design a Batsuit. You have to design a Batmobile. You have to have a Batcave. You have to have Batbikes, all of the things that he's going to have. And so, you know, for me, that's been one of the exciting things, and that happened even before we were quite done with the last iteration of the script.
That's probably one of the most fun parts, though, just basically going on ahead and like coming up with your own rendition of all this stuff.
I already have a production designer on, and so he would be sending, as I'm writing scenes, I might send stuff to James, and he's like, oh, well, what about this for a Batcave? And so, yes, we had to build a set for it. But I think it's an incredibly original and different set. I think it's going to be really fun for the audience to discover what version of exactly this Batcave is going to be. The Batmobile and the Batsuit, they took a long time. You know, I mean, Glenn came on quite early, and we worked in the designing of it, again, as I was writing, and the idea of him being able to fight in it. And so they started illustrating, and I'd say we spent easily a year to do the Batsuit.
Can you imagine?
And to get into the Batmobile.
But that's probably the
that,
most important aspect, is
that
the
part's
suit.
a dream. I mean, you know, the idea of getting to do your own version of the Batmobile is like, you're just kind of like, what? That's the incredible candy, right? Like,
guys,
the
this is the director of the film.
Trying to make
like,
sure that you're doing the right thing.
He's
and then when you
not
get to
just
dive
mustache
into the idea
man, as he
this
keeps
car
referring
that
to.
again feels connected to this
There's
version
Matt
of the
Reeves.
character,
He did
a
an
grounded
awesome
version of
job
the
with
character.
the
This is
Planet
something
of
that
the
he
Apes
built,
movies.
and to try and look at those
And
kind
I'm
of rough
sure that
seams and imagine how all that
when
works,
this movie comes
it's a-
out, you
it's
guys
been
are all
an
going to go
incredible
from,
sort of
oh, he's
gift
mustache
to be
man,
able
to
to
like,
do
oh
that.
my
It's
goodness,
fun.
Matt Reeves, what an amazing
Alejo from
director.
Argentina asks, what will be the
Come
main
on.
difference between this Batman and the other incarnations from previous films?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think, you know, as we said, it's not an origin tale, and you're meeting him in the early days. And for me, what's really important about this iteration is that, you know, a lot of the other stories are very much about how he had to master his fear and master himself in order to become Batman, and that in that Batman state, he's sort of in his best self. And I think for me, what was exciting was not doing that, not doing the origin, not doing what we'd seen done so beautifully in other movies, but instead to meet him in the middle of this criminological experiment, to see him in the becoming of Batman, and to see him make mistakes as Batman, and to see him grow and fail and be heroic, do all of the things that we associate with Batman, but in a way that felt very human and very flawed. The biggest fantasy, of course, as a kid would have been to be Batman. And so the idea of putting the audience in the shoes of that character and make the audience feel the way that he feels, I think that, to me, I hope is what's different about what we're doing, is to try and do it in exactly that sort of manner. And then, of course, the other things that are from the earlier history of the comics, like him being the world's greatest detective and how he got there. You know, those things have been touched on, but I don't know that
I really like that it seems like he's going to lean into like it being like a detective story, which I think will be awesome.
Cliff from Australia asks, what's one deep
So less
cut
superhero,
comic fans
more
might
of a
be
detective
surprised
movie.
to see has inspired the Batman?
You know, for me, because I wanted to get into the mindset of the character and I wanted to think of the psychology, for me, I think one of the cool deep dive ones was Darwin Cook's ego. He's confronting the beast that is Batman, and it's kind of, there's a kind of duality. I mean, there's a lot in what, you know, I was trying to do in the story about him confronting the shadow side of himself. The degree to which you have self-knowledge, you're able to understand your motivations, but he's broken, Batman. So while he's doing all of these things for the reasons that he thinks is right and that have a heroic sort of grounding in them, there's also many things that are driven by the parts of himself he doesn't yet know. And so I would say that that kind of sort of psychological Jungian shadow side, that sort of version of it is very much connected to that vision from Darwin Cook.
Thank you, Dylan. I'll read that in
Yosef
just a sec.
From Bolivia says, which non-Batman movie were Matt Reeves, yours, inspiration for the Batman?
Oh, well, because the movie is a detective story, because it is a, you know, a thriller in the sort of cop world, and because it's about corruption, we're treating this Batman story as if this could have happened. I mean, the idea is that, as I said, Batman doesn't have this sort of the ability to have sort of super heroic powers. He just has super heroic focus and super heroic drive. And so for me, you know, a lot of movies like Chinatown was a key one, because Chinatown, Jake Gittes, in investigating that sort of the series of crimes that were part of that story, he discovers the depth of corruption in Los Angeles. And so in that way, it's like a classic noir. And that's very much
everything I'm hearing, I'm like, yes, because I think it's going to be such a like gritty movie. Like even just the logo, the red and black colors that they're using for all the marketing,
that was very much
and then everything that he keeps touching on is like
French Connection and other sort of cop movies like that.
That would be awesome.
A movie like Taxi Driver, the description of a place, and very much getting inside of somebody's head, and I guess a lot of really sort of 70s. Street.
That sounds pretty epic.
Stories.
So, Matt, one of the exciting things about the Batman as a character is that he's so layered and so kind of intense that you can dip into his life at different points, and none of these different characters, these different iterations of the Batman or Gotham or the entire
Can you
kind
please
of Batman
speed it up?
universe as it was,
I'm watching it live. I can't do anything about it. Plus, honestly, if you don't want to hear any of the Q&A, just leave. Watch the trailer when it's.
Just the idea of the
people said that it's already
who
leaked, so
Batman, like
you can go watch the leaked trailer, I guess.
When I was a kid, like Adam West, that was like when I was 5 and watching him as Batman, like that blew my mind. I wanted to be Batman so badly. And then I remember when I was a little bit older and then Keaton came onto the scene with the Burton movie, I was like, I was so excited they were going to do a theatrical version of that. And then the iterations that have followed, like so many incredible people. I mean, Bale was amazing. I mean, incredible. Everything that Chris Nolan was astonishing. And I personally, I loved Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he was incredible. Like an iteration again that we hadn't seen. So like, in fact, I'm really excited because I know that they've got, Zach is going to be doing the new Justice League cut of his that he didn't get to do originally, and now he's getting to do it, and I can't wait to see that. So for me, the idea that there are sort of first of all, to be a part of history like that is an incredible thing. And I do think that that's one of the things. It's kind of like the comics. You know, when you look at the comics, there are so many iterations of Batmans. There are so many different people's Batmans. There's Neil Adams' Batman. There's, you know, of course, there's Bob Kane and Bill Finger's Batman, and there's Frank Miller's Batman. There's so many Batmans. And so to me, that's one of the joys of being in the kind of comic book world, is to try and say, hey, what can we do to put our spin on this so that people can find a new way of looking at that character that they love?
I remember when the Dark Knight graphic novels came out when I was a kid, what a radical departure that felt like, how exciting that was.
Oh my God.
But it didn't erase all the ways that I had connected with that character previously. It just made the world richer and, you know, more exciting. So,
yeah, totally. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it's this strange thing of wanting to be able to find a way to come at it in some new way, and yet it has to be connected to that thing that you love. And that, for me, being part of that history and being part of all of that is sort of almost unbelievable. You have to pinch yourself.
So, Matt, before we wrap up, I think that what the fans really want is to get just even a tiny glimpse of what the film is going to look like. And, you know,
here we go.
This is a fan experience.
Let's
I'm
get
hoping
some
you
hype.
brought us something we can show them.
It's Fandome. And, you know, having been to Comic-Con and all of that, I know you don't come without anything. And, you know, look, we've only shot 25% of the movie, 25–30% of the movie, so there's so much. This is just scratching the surface, but there was no way that I could come here and not bring a look at the movie. So, yeah, I'm incredibly excited to share what is just the first tease of our movie.
Here we go.
I hope you guys like it.
That sounds like tape. Yeah.
From your secret friend.
Underneath the bridge,
Who?
top has sprung a leak, and the animals I've trapped
Haven't a clue.
all become my pet.
Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you?
Dang, there's the suit in action.
You're becoming quite a celebrity. Why is he writing to you?
There's Selena.
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm Batman. Holy.
I'm vengeance. Whoa! This guy's crazy.
You're part of this too. How am I part of it? You'll see.
Whoo! Dude.
I'm so excited. For
I got
this film. It's
goosebumps.
amazing. You only shot, you know, a
Who
quarter
are
of it,
you?
and it's already feels
Beats
so
the heck out of that
robust
dude.
and
And then,
intricate.
I'm
And I can't wait to
vengeance.
see the finished product.
Whoo!
Thank you so much for being here with me.
Dude,
and with all the
I
fans
love the tone
around
of that
the world
movie.
Who are so
It
excited
looks
for this
so
film. I know I
good.
speak
Like,
for
it
them
looks like it's
when
gonna
I say
be
that we are all
like
super
straight up a
pumped for the
detective
Batman.
story,
Well,
man.
thank you so much. Thank you. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here, and I'm really excited that we're going to get back to making this movie so that you guys can see it.
Guys, a huge thank you to the fans around the world for
Good googly moogly. That was well worth the wait, man. And he said that that's 25% of the movie. First of all, I think that confirms that Riddler is probably going to be the main bad guy, it looks like, because he's the one that's sending all these, like, riddles, obviously, Batman's way. with all these different challenges for him to answer. So that looks really good. Really, really, really good. I'm surprised by how good that trailer was. Whoo! That looked good, man. That tone, music, just everything looks stellar. Definitely stoked for that. I like that it looks more like not realistic necessarily, but just like more toned down a little bit from what Snyder was doing, where it was just a little more like over the top. This was a little bit more grounded. Now, holy, I'm like so focused now on the Batman. We got to discuss a little bit of the Suicide Squad stuff. So I guess let's first of all, here's what I'll do. I'll go on ahead and just quickly bring up the other super chats here. Jose Alfredo Angel comes through with the $3.99 super chat saying, is the Suicide Squad connected to the Arkham game? So he said that it is. Like Sefton Hill, when he was being interviewed, he said that it's set in the same universe. I am super confused by that because of several factors, like art style, just tonally it looks very, very different. Harley looks different. I'm not 100% certain, but wasn't Lawton pretty sure, was that Floyd Lawton? I don't remember. I need to look it up, but I'm not sure. They said it is, but it doesn't make a lot of sense as far as like some of the characters that they showed. So I'm a little confused because I'm pretty sure that Floyd Lawton was a white guy in the when did he appear? Was it Arkham City or was it Arkham? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember which one it was, but maybe I guess it's just somebody passes the mantle or something. I mean, I understand why they're going for that because they're probably going for more of the movie designs of characters to like have an overlap there, but I'm just a little confused by, I guess, some of the why is it a different actor? No. Well, I don't have any issue with obviously them changing like a race of a character or whatever. It might like perfectly fine. It's just that if they're set in the same world, what happened? Like what happened to that Floyd Lawton? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm confused by. And Harley obviously looks different. Gameplay looks quite a bit different. You know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll bring up, I'll get us some footage of the actual sorry, give me a second here. Let me get some footage for Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. We're going to discuss it all here in just 1 second, guys. Okay, so here's the official teaser. Let me bring that up. Okay, so the biggest disappointment with this reveal, I think, was this right here. 2022? Okay, so first of all, PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X, so it is just a next-gen game. I'm very confused by that, for me personally, because I don't understand why show this game now if it's not even next year, it's the year after that. Like, listen, the amount of merchandise that I own that is like, let's say not the entire DC universe, but Batman related is absurd. So I'm definitely a legitimate fan in terms of like, I like Batman, but I can't not criticize this. Like, this is ridiculous. Why are we getting a reveal for this now when it's 2 years away? Like, that seems too long. Show it next year and then tell us that it's the year after. Am I wrong? Chat, hit me with 1 in the chat. Type in 1 if you guys agree. Type in 2 if you disagree. Because I genuinely want to see, like, if some people disagree, that's perfectly fine. But that's the first thing we're going to bring up. Because I just don't get why show it so much earlier than the actual release. Okay. So it looks like chat is in agreement. I don't want to be like patting my own back and go like, oh, yay, they agree with me. But like, I just, because if you disagree, I am genuinely interested. Like, type in the chat why you think it's okay or whatever. Like, because to me, I just think that this is too early then. Like, you shouldn't be teasing it right now if it's 2 years away. That's just me, though. And it's also kind of, I'm not going to lie, it's my fault for setting my expectations high for getting a game this year, because we assumed that maybe the WB Montreal game was going to be this year, but now it means we're getting no DC game this year, which kind of stinks. So Gotham Knights is next year, and they didn't say, like, in my opinion, if it was early, they would have said, at least I think they would have said spring 2020, but they, every time, or sorry, 2021, but every time that they say, like, the next year, it usually winds up being fall. So, oh, look, here, no, here we go, just a sec. I mean, you don't need to spam, though. Fragments coming through with the Tuba Crew Super Chat saying, what was your favorite reveal for today? The Batman trailer. Why did you, okay, please don't spam Ivan, but what was his point? Because you can wait 2 years, Max, it's not hard. Fair enough, Ivan. That's a really good critique. I mean, by your logic, you could also just say, because you could wait a decade, so why don't they just reveal stuff that's a decade away? To me, I don't understand, what is your marketing campaign going to look like if you're 24 months away? Look at the way people responded to the new Batman game from WB Montreal when they teased it for, what was it, 9 months? Look at how much backlash there was. What's going to happen when you're going up to 24 months? It's a disastrous decision. Like, in my opinion, it makes no sense. Like, I love what we saw, because the actual footage, let's watch the footage. I love the tone. The characters seem to each have their own personality. I really like the what looks like Brainiac, right? Like, you can see a big giant Brainiac ship. We see Superman. It looks like he is possessed by Brainiac, making you assume that it's probably Brainiac, lands on Earth, possesses the Justice League, and then uses the Justice League to do his bidding, and it's up to the Suicide Squad to stop them. That's kind of the context. Makes sense, right? There's a hot dog man, 10 out of 10. IGN would buy again. Big Belly Burger reference right there as well.
Where the hell are you? I'm going in.
Like, this is all great because it shows you great tone, great comedic timing, good writing, pizza.
We lost the target. Repeat. Task Force X has lost the target.
Damn it.
Looks incredible, by the way. Like, the character models look super well done.
Taking heavy fire. Get to Park Ridge ASAP.
Don't worry, boss. We got this.
Hey, Boomer! Lay down suppressant fire.
I bet in 2 years, no one's going to remember it. It's just, I feel like, I don't know. I just personally, for me, Ivan, you want me to prove my point? We listened to Matt Reeves talk about the Batman movie that everyone's excited about for, what was it, maybe 12 minutes? And half the chat started calling him Mustachio Man. More than half the chat, 90% of the chat, calling Mustachio Man, show us the trailer, stop talking, blah, 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 blah. That's what I'm talking about. You're dealing with a society where the attention span is becoming that of like a peanut, and you're going like, oh yeah, and we want you to be excited about this thing 24 months away. It's just, that's the issue. That's the only issue with this game. Which again, is a good criticism, because I'm saying, hey, this game looks so good, we want to play it earlier. And also, this dude looks like CM Punk. Am I wrong about that, chat? Ghastly, same here, dude. You and me. But I'm just saying the vast majority of people have no attention spans. So for you to expect for them to be interested in something for 24 months, you better have an amazing marketing campaign ready to rock and roll. Or you show this now, and then what, in a year from now is only when you're going to fire up the marketing campaign? Then why even show it now? That's the lack of logic there.
Is still ringing after that last Bonnie.
What is that?
Shark King is dopey. I disagree. I think he looks. I like how he's popping the Green Lantern balloon. Did you guys notice that?
Australian for hangover?
Look.
I believe I can translate. Boomerang has a concussion from the enemy you missed in our last encounter.
Guess those teeth are sharper than your eyes, Shark Man.
The enemies, by the way, that's why I said it looks like Sunset Overdrive. They definitely remind me of like, that's kind of the tone of this game in general. It's very Sunset Overdrive-esque. And if you've never played Sunset Overdrive, I would argue that it's probably top 10 best Xbox One exclusives. So do yourself a favor, go get it. It's a great game. And I think that this really is going to probably play quite similar to that game, actually, with like the different weapons and upgrades, etc.
I never
miss. Never miss. Yeah, we bloody know. You never shut up about it.
Like, again, you can see great dynamic between all four. Obviously, Amanda Waller's in the game. She's the one that's in the intercom. Like, all this looks great. You got cool gameplay. Interesting also that Sefton Hill did say that this is going to be a shooter. So obviously, like, all the characters are going to be using guns. You think it's going to be open world? He said it is. As well, I wrote them down.
Smooth.
Well, that should knock a few years off the old sentence.
That's reminding me of something. Oh yeah! Waller's stupid alpha target. Who are we supposed to be killing again?
Watch out, helicopter. And there he is, the Man of Steel. We finally get to see Rocksteady's version of
Look, it's Superman. The mighty Superman has just rescued that pilot.
Okay, what I will say is that, do you not get the vibes from King Shark that he's kind of like Drax, isn't he? Like, he has that kind of over the top, like straightforward delivery. Like, he reminds me a little bit of Drax from the Guardians movies. Yeah. That's going to be a nightmare for these guys.
So, figure out who we're killing yet?
Again, everything is great. We're all excited. Like, oh my goodness, Rocksteady. Funny. And then this screen. And then this screen. Why? Why 2022, man? It's like everything's going well, and then boom, shakalaka. They hit us with something that we don't want to see. Again, cool concept. Like, looks like it's well written. Looks like there's good comedic timing between the characters. But the delay in the, or not the delay, I guess the launch date being that far away, a little bit surprising, honestly. I find it hard to believe this is an Arkham. So let's run through some of those other details. So they had Sefton Hill speak afterwards, and he said this will be a 1-4 player co-op game, drop in, drop out co-op. You're going to be able to swap between the 4 characters on the go. So, for example, if you don't have teammates playing the different Suicide Squad members, you'll be able to switch between them. So, like, you can play as Harley, then switch to Boomerang, switch to Deadshot, switch to King Shark. So that's cool. He did say that it's a shooting game. So it looks like they're going to lean into like a shooter mechanic. It is open world as well. And like what you mentioned, this is set in the Arkham universe. That I don't get how, because Harley looks different, like substantially different to her design. the entire art style of the game looks very different. So I'm not really sure why tie it into the Arkham universe. Like, why not just do this as a whole fresh thing? But I don't know. Like, maybe that's just me. Obviously, we touched on Deadshot being a completely different person. I don't think we had Boomerang before. So other than that, though, like, I really don't have anything negative to say for the game itself. I think that the game looks incredible, great writing, good comedic timing. It's Rocksteady, so I'm sure it'll be fun. It's interesting to see Rocksteady do a gunplay game, so it'll be really interesting to see third-person, shooter mechanics from Rocksteady, because that's not something that we've seen before. So I'm interested in that. Anything else that you guys have to bring up for this before we touch on the Batman stuff? So, like, if this is an Arkham universe and the Justice League is here, what about Batman? Exactly. Like, that, to me, this is almost like the opposite of Gotham Knights. With Gotham Knights, we were all like, oh, this is set for sure in the Arkham universe. And they're like, nope, it's not. Brand new universe. Here, we're like, oh, this is for sure a brand new universe. They're like, nope, it's not. It's the Arkham universe. It's like, how does that, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like if you flip those two, it'd make a lot more sense. Set the Gotham Knights game in the Arkham universe, set this game in its own universe. It makes a lot more sense that way. Reminding me so much of Christian Bale's Batman? How? Oh, sorry, the Batman? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the complete opposite. Because other than that, like, nothing bad to say. The only problem is we got to wait 2 years until this game comes out. Jose Alfredo Angel, thank you for the $2.99 super chat, saying, I hope Deathstroke is DLC character. I want him. I think they will have a lot of DLC characters, because I suspect that Suicide Squad movie is going to do very, very well. I think that might end up being DC's, apart from the Batman, which I'm more excited for just because I like the idea of a detective story. I think it's going to be really, really cool. I think that from a box office perspective and mass appeal, I think that the Suicide Squad 2 is going to be an absolute beast success for them. And I think that because of that, they're going to leverage a bunch of the characters from there into a game like this. Yo, Blitz, I kind of agree, but maybe they're doing a DLC for the game, or there's still some stuff that they need to add in the game, so there's no problem they need to fix. Akeem Knight, I don't disagree with you. Like, my criticism is not, hey, I don't want you to make a game in the year of 2022, or that I'm not excited for this game. My criticism is that I can already see the entirety of just droves of people saying, oh, why did you reveal this too early? Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just going to be that, and that's going to be the narrative for this game already. So they're already starting 3 steps behind just because of the fact that they reveal it so early. That's what I'm getting at. So to me, it just doesn't make sense to show something that is this far ahead. Because also, don't forget, there is absolutely a chance that as we get closer to 2022, as we've seen with a lot of different games, they're like, sorry, it's going to be 2023. Or, you know what I mean? Like, look at Marvel's Avengers, look at Cyberpunk. Any of these, like, big games easily could get delayed. So if you're already announcing something that is 2 years out, should it get delayed even more? Boy, oh boy. You know? Nathan Pippin makes a very interesting point. He says, I think the main mistake is showing a full trailer instead of a teaser. That's an interesting point too, because you see, like, this is pretty well flushed out. Now, keep in mind, it's obviously mostly CGI. So, like, if we go here, even all this is all CGI, right? There's no gameplay here. That can't be gameplay. This is CGI. She has a web swing or, like, a grapple ability. Like, yeah, none of this is literally just a CGI trailer. So I don't think any of this is gameplay. it's a preview of what will be possible, but all CGI here. I'm just trying to like pay attention to see if maybe some of it could be, but I don't think so. I think this is all CGI. This really does look like something that maybe you would almost use to like pitch the game. Like you'd make this and be like, here's the idea, here's the tone, the idea, the concept, and done. Sign me up. The problem is, again, this is something that they should have like kept to themselves. Maybe we're all CGI. There's a game announcement at 7:30. What are you talking about? Zeke at lean. It is 9:20 right now. What are you talking about? This game doesn't feel like the other Arkham games. Think about it. It's, again, not sure why they're tying it together. I'm a little confused by that because tonally it looks different. Art style, it looks different. There's no need for this to be tied into the Arkham games, in my opinion. Oh, I didn't notice there's a LexCorp logo there too. Cool Easter egg right there. You see Blaze Comics and then above it, LexCorp. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to add for now. I'm excited, but I wish it was sooner. That's it. Bro, they better have gameplay for this. Astro, there is no gameplay for this. This game is 2 years away, so it's going to be a while. There's a game announcement? What is everybody talking about? Is there another game announcement? Are you guys legit trolling me? What is that? 7:25? Is that PST? DC Fandome is still live? No, that was, they're replaying the Fandome now. It's a replay of everything that they've shown already. Yeah, that's the rerun of the show, guys. That's going to be, they're going to show Gotham Knights again. Can you replay the trailer? Sure, I'm on. Here you go, man. So we're going to watch this again, then dive into Matt Reeves' Batman. Blitz, you getting trolled. Fair enough. Brainiac pops up. Or Brainiac ship, sorry. From the creators of the Batman Arkham series. Metropolis.
I've got eyes on the target. Air support is getting cut to pieces. Where the hell are you? I'm going in.
Guardians of the Galaxy game? It kind of has a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, for sure. Is Batman going to be in this? They haven't confirmed one way or another, but I don't see why he would be. It's a Suicide Squad game. Maybe DLC. I love the ship looking like it's staring Harley down.
Keep it down, Hal. My ears are still ringing after that last Barney.
What is that? Australian for hangover?
I believe I can translate. Boomerang has a concussion from the enemy you missed in our last encounter.
Guess those teeth are sharper than your eyes, Shark Man. I never
miss. Never miss. Yeah, we bloody know. You never shut up about it.
Task Force X. Alpha target is in the open. Get your asses to the Metropolis Grand Hotel and engage. Before I have another reason to blow those bombs in your heads.
I mean, again, fantastic as far as concept. I'm trying to like always pay attention to see if I missed anything. Oh, there's that graph.
Smooth.
Well, that should knock a few years off the old sentence.
That's reminding me of something. Oh yeah! Waller's stupid alpha target. Who are we supposed to be killing again?
And there he is. The bad guy. Or one of.
Look, it's Superman. The mighty Superman has just rescued that pilot.
I mean, that line is terrific. The delivery, everything. Music is poggers. I agree. The music is great. Tone, everything is great. Like, I have zero complaints about the concept, the idea, the team behind it. The two things. Why is this set in the Arkham universe? I don't understand, because it's totally completely different. And the second thing is that it's announced so far ahead of time. That's it. That's the only critiques that I have. Like, even that small moment there tells you so much about the tone of the game. Superman you see Superman melt this dude alive, and you're like, oh, you know what will work against him? A boomerang. Like, you don't need to know much more about, like, it's got great comedic sensibilities, but I can't ignore some of the critiques as well. Okay, so let's dive into the Batman now. Let's take a look at the Batman trailer real quick. Which, better than I even thought it could be. Okay, let's conclude it this way, guys. For the Suicide Squad, the reason that this game has a 2022 release is so it doesn't have to compete with the movie in 2021. Reverb, I think that that's an interesting point, but to me, personally, it makes a lot more sense to actually do a 1-2 punch, because I think I'm somebody who did not like the first Suicide Squad movie, but everything that they just showed for Suicide Squad 2 looks awesome. So I've come around on the idea of the Suicide Squad as a movie. I think the movie is going to be awesome. So why not? Here's the movie. Here's the game. It actually makes more sense, in my opinion, to do both of them together. But the point is, what do you guys think? Give me the thumbs up, thumbs down in the chat. Okay, let's actually separate this, okay? Aside, like, let's say if this game was coming out next year, okay? Or even November, whatever. Let's ignore the release date, okay? Just give me a rating out of 10 or a thumbs up, thumbs down for what did you think of the trailer itself? So, like, the tone and the idea of Rocksteady doing a third-person shooter where you take up the helm of one of these 4 characters. Just that. So let's ignore the tie-in into the Arkham franchise, and let's ignore the date. Okay? So just pretend like the date is like tomorrow. Okay? That's what I'm getting at. You see, like, people love the trailer. It's the date, the problem, and getting around that is going to be the tricky part. But look at that. Like, all of you guys like that trailer. That is awesome, man. I agree. I think the trailer looks really, really good. Cool. Yeah, it looks like most people are definitely just for PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. Spider Cop, it's PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. All 3 of those. So it's only future, what is it called? Next gen. Okay. Let me go on ahead and bring up the Batman movie trailer. We're going to talk about that. So the first thing is that a bunch of you guys are disrespectful AF to Mr. Matt Reeves, who was honestly just super duper passionate about his film. I love everything that I heard during that Q&A. Like, obviously some of the questions were kind of like cheesy in terms of like, okay, like that's an obvious answer. But what I love that he kept repeating, it's a detective story. It's going to be tonally focused on the detective aspect of Batman and exploring what it's like to be Batman, the city accepting him, etc. And then in addition to that, obviously the entire reveals that we've seen around this film so far all have this really gritty tone, like whether it be the logos, the music, even the costume, like even how he mentioned how the cowl and everything, it's not polished and like looks perfect. It has dings and tears, and it's the cowl and the entire bat suit represents the tone of the film. And I love that. So with that in mind, let's rock and roll with the trailer. You mean Ned Flanders? That's what I'm talking about. You see? That's chat for you. No more lies. Like, listen to that song. It's not like some... It's super, like... almost emo a little bit, right?
Haven't a clue. Let's play a game. Just me and you.
And there's all the different puzzles, or riddles, I should say.
Does this mean anything to you?
To the Batman. So this is probably one of the nicer like shots that we get of the suit in terms of like, because it's clear light somewhat. I mean, even though it's really, really dark for you guys. So sorry about that.
You're becoming quite a celebrity.
And there's the Batcave, so we get kind of a nice shot there of the Batcave. It almost looks like it's in an abandoned subway station or something like that, doesn't it? Like, that's kind of the stairs and everything kind of has that vibe to it. But again, interesting take, something different. And you could see some sort of either hostage with like a bomb or something like that, that my guess probably has been sent in here by the Riddler. And again, to the Batman. There's Selena Kyle, or Catwoman. There's Penguin. Here comes the best line. Get ready.
What is the price for your blind eye?
And I think that's Paul Dano that's talking, I'm pretty sure. Like, it sounds like he's giving the speech here.
What is the price?
I think that's Riddler.
Blind eye.
I think so.
The hell are you supposed to be?
Watch. Ooh.
I'm vengeance.
Let's watch that again. Wait.
Blind eye.
The hell are you supposed to be?
Oh, I didn't even notice he breaks the dude's arm.
I'm vengeance.
I'm vengeance. That's it. That's it. Simple as that.
Whoa! This guy's crazy.
I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, that part right
The
there.
hell are you supposed to
What
be?
the hell are you supposed to be? This dude is just getting obliterated. Look at that guy's face right there. The guy in the middle, he's just like, oh man, what the heck have we got ourselves into?
I'm vengeance.
Boom. That's it. Like that, you could have just shown me that, like that small clip. I would have been like, done. Take my money. Let me watch this movie. Are you kidding me? That is incredible. So, with that in mind, what do you guys think of the trailer? I'll play it in the background while I read a few chat comments. Let me know. It's different from I'm Batman. I mean, I legit expected him to just say I'm Batman, but he's just, I'm vengeance. That's it. Shut up and take my money. That's what I'm talking about. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Sean Leah says, trailer is fine, fair enough. What did you expect? I'm curious. Terrible Batman, in my opinion. Wow, Jamil. Interesting. It looks so cool, like it's going to be similar to Gotham. Yes, it's definitely got a lot more of that gritty tone, which I love. Especially because, again, I love that even throughout this trailer, again, he said that this is only about 25% of the movie, so maybe this is what they've only shot. But you can see it's riddle after riddle after riddle. So I like that we're going to see Batman have to figure out these puzzles that Riddler keeps sending his way.
Let's play a game. Just me and you.
Oh my goodness.
Any of this mean anything to you?
Logan vibes from the trailer music. A little bit. I could see that high there. It definitely has that tone.
You're becoming quite a celebrity.
That trailer is really, really good. I agree. And you guys have to remember, Matt Reeves is a fantastic director. Like, I don't think I've seen any movie that he has ever made that was bad.
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
The hell are you supposed to be?
Wait, is that a riddle? What is he saying?
Please do not lie.
If you're justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
The hell are you supposed to be?
This scene is just...
I'm vengeance.
Boom. Done. Take my money.
This guy's crazy.
Excellent, 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 excellent reveal. Great tone. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see that.
You're part of this too.
Okay.
You'll see.
And there's the 2021 launch date. Woo-wee! Ladies and gentlemen, we are done. We have now wrapped up the reveals here. Did my mouse just deactivate? It did. Sorry about that. Do I have a cable to charge that? Okay, I'm gonna have to charge it over here. It's gonna play the DC Suicide Squad trailer in the background. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that was the DC Fandome event, day 1. There is gonna be another event, but apparently that one is gonna be more I think it's supposed to be a little bit more focused on like the comic books. It's gonna be which for me is awesome, but I don't think I'm gonna do live reactions to that one. So the point is, I guess let's surmise. Gotham Knights, I think looks interesting, looks cool. I like the concept. I'm a little bit surprised that it's not set in the Arkham universe, but still excited to play it. So that was cool. Second big reaction was for Rocksteady. Great tone, great writing, it looks like. Just great concept. Fantastic, very, very talented developers. Only gripe against them, 2 things. Not sure why it is tied to the Arkham universe. And then in addition to that, not really particularly certain as to why they announced it so far ahead of time. So those are the critiques. And then, of course, the closer of the show, for me, the highlight of DC Fandome is that The Batman trailer. As high of expectations as I had for Matt Reeves' Batman movie, that blew it out of the water. I am way more excited about the Batman movie now than I was before. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, turn on your notifications. I will hopefully see you guys here tomorrow for some live streams as well. And of course, in addition to that, guys, if you want to support the channel beyond that, you can grab some Blitzwinger merch using the links in the description. You can become a member of the channel as well using the link in the description box as well. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll hopefully get you guys here on the next one. Peace.